pandemic has altered many of our lifestyles and habits, so it's no surprise that the items that we carry every day have to adapt as well. And while many of us aren't traveling at the moment, these items will likely be part of our travel toolkit moving forward. Hey, how's it going everyone? It's Ernest from Trip Astute. In this video, I want to share my pandemic everyday carry and hopefully give you some ideas on useful tools to improve your daily life and travels. A while back, I did a video on my everyday carry or EDC items that I use, both in my daily life and travels. If you haven't already checked it out, I suggest watching that video for some ideas on what I normally carry. Since what we carry reflects our lifestyle, things have obviously changed due to the pandemic. And since it looks like many of the shelter-at-home orders are being slowly relaxed, you'll likely be going back to work or school soon, at least in some limited way. I've even started to slowly return to the office, and it's been a weird experience. One of the things that I think is interesting is that while a lot of people focus on survival skills and weapons, the most useful skills seem to be the most basic. Things like sewing, cooking, and even medicine are the skills that are most valuable during this crisis. While they might not be as sexy and cool as protecting you from zombies, they are the skills that are most in demand during a pandemic. So let's run through some items that are now part of my EDC. These are items that I now carry in addition to what I normally have on hand. And like I said earlier, these are likely going to be part of my toolkit when we start traveling again. Number 1, face mask. I know a lot of people hate them, but I think that they are the new reality for us. Since the CDC recommends that people wear cloth face masks to slow down the spread of the virus, it's likely that they will be here to stay. And in terms of travel, a face mask will be one of those items that we'll be packing in our bags moving forward. There are a lot of people making homemade cloth face masks, in addition to clothing companies that have shifted their production. What I found is that cloth face masks tend to fall into two categories. One style mimics the design of a surgical mask. These masks tend to be less tight and allow for easier breathing. For example, here are some masks that I purchased from a seller on Etsy. They have bands that go over the ears and also have a pocket for a filter. You can use a variety of materials for additional filtering. I purchased some PM 2.5 pollution filters from Amazon. It's not going to give you N95 level of protection, but it should provide some extra protection over the cloth alone. You can also use coffee filters, paper towels, and other materials as additional layers of protection. The other type of masks are ones that are designed to replicate the look and feel of a respirator. Obviously, you won't get the same level of filtering from this type of cloth mask, but they do tend to have a tighter fit around your face. For example, these masks are from Los Angeles Apparel and have elastic bands that go behind your head and neck. Whichever style you prefer, it makes sense to get some masks for both your normal life and travels. I recommend getting several so you can test out different styles and also wash them regularly like you would any other article of clothing. One additional tip is to get fasteners if you have masks that have longer elastic straps, especially around your head. You can always tie the straps as well, but this gives you more flexibility. I bought a pack of tiny cord locks from Z-Packs, which work great. The tiny cord locks fit the smaller elastic band on my Los Angeles Apparel masks, but are too small for the ear loops on my Etsy face masks. For larger elastic bands, I would go with one size higher. Number 2, gloves. Since minimizing contact with surfaces is important during these times, I'm now carrying a set of latex gloves in my pocket. One thing that gets people in a lot of trouble when they use gloves is they end up contaminating their hands when removing them. This is especially the case for those of us who don't use gloves in our normal life or profession. It's worth taking the time to learn how to properly remove gloves to reduce any contamination. If you know someone who works in a clinical environment, they can show you how to do it. There are also a ton of YouTube videos demonstrating the technique. Basically, you want to follow the rule that only skin touches skin and glove touches glove. By learning the basic techniques, you can safely remove gloves and dispose of them easily. In terms of carrying gloves, you can get pouches designed to carry gloves that are made for emergency medical or police use. However, there are other pouches or bags that can work for this purpose. For example, I'm using a simple Ziploc plastic bag to hold 2 pairs of gloves. I've even heard people using Altoid or Tic Tac containers for this purpose. Also, I know that latex and nitrile gloves are hard to find nowadays. If you're just looking for something to wear for those occasional situations where you might want to avoid contact, consider getting food prep gloves instead. Keep in mind that they're not as durable and often uncomfortable to wear over a long period of time. However, they can be a useful substitute. Lastly, I want to stress that gloves are not a substitute for washing your hands. Washing your hands is still the most effective way to protect yourself from an infection. Though gloves can be handy for those times when you might not have access to soap and water, but have to handle a high-touch object like a fuel pump. Number 3, no contact tool. I don't remember how I found these things, but they've proven to be quite useful. Shortly after the pandemic, these devices started to pop up on Kickstarter. These tools can help reduce contact on high traffic surfaces like door handles and elevator buttons. In fact, I've been using it at the office and when running errands, and it works well. Since I have several doors between my actual office and the bathroom, I struggle to keep my hands sanitary at work, especially after washing them. This tool really helps with keeping my hands from touching high contact surfaces. It also works on elevator buttons and those annoying small street crossing buttons that can't be pressed with an elbow. I had to drop off a package the other day, and I found that I was able to get in and out of the post office without touching a single surface by using one of these tools. This in turn keeps me from using up more scarce supplies like hand sanitizer and gloves. If you do get one, I recommend going with one that's made from either brass or copper. Both of these metals have antiviral properties, which means that the virus particles are able to survive on these surfaces for shorter periods of time. For example, the National Institute of Health says that COVID-19 can only survive on copper surfaces for up to 4 hours, which is a lot better than surfaces like stainless steel, where the virus can stay alive for up to 3 days. The one I bought is called the Virus Hook. It's a bit bigger than a lot of other tools out there. However, the Virus Hook has a few things that seem to set it apart from others. One is that it's made from solid copper and not just plated. I also like that it has a pocket clip. I usually store it in my back pocket away from my other personal items. The hook is also more robust than other products that I've seen. It works really well on door handles, but doesn't work as well on doorknobs, especially ones with polished or smooth surfaces. If you're looking for a no contact tool, I recommend getting one that's larger and made from metal. While those smaller hooks may be easier to carry, they're going to be a lot less capable when pulling a heavy door. Also, I recommend dedicating a pocket for your contact tool to avoid touching other items that you're carrying. For example, I keep mine clipped to my back pocket instead of my front pockets where I keep my other daily carry items. Number 4, Bluetooth earphones. I actually started to carry these before the pandemic started, after I got a pair of AirPods as a gift from Fiona. I immediately found them useful, especially since I love to listen to podcasts and audiobooks while doing errands and chores around the house. However, these have proven to be even more useful during the pandemic. That's because I'm on a lot more calls and video meetings as a result of social distancing measures. The earphones have proven to be extremely handy. I never imagined that I would be carrying earphones in my pocket at all times. It seems like more of a millennial thing to do, but these earphones now go everywhere with me. And as long as we're continuing to engage people virtually, I foresee myself keeping them in my pocket due to all the functionality. Trying to do a video call in a noisy location without earphones is not a fun experience, and having to deal with wires can be annoying too. And when I'm away from home, I find it a better practice to keep my phone away from my face. It may seem a bit excessive, but since the primary way of getting affected is through contact with your eyes, nose, or mouth, I think it's a good idea to keep high-touch objects away from your face. This can also be an issue when you're using wired earphones that brush along your face. Keeping it wireless is not only more convenient, but also more sanitary. So, those are the items that I've been carrying in my pocket lately, though there are several items that I generally carry with me, but not on me. This includes disinfecting wipes and hand sanitizer. I have a stash in my car and backpack, but I am trying to conserve them since I know that supplies are limited. That's where a device like a no-contact tool can help. The sad reality is that these items are likely going to be part of my normal carry when traveling in the future. Even if we get a vaccine or effective treatment, we'll likely be on high alert for a while for any new strains or other virus outbreaks. Being prepared by carrying these items will be essential even in a post-pandemic world. What are you carrying these days? Do you have any tips or tools that you found to be useful? Please let me know in the comment section below. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If so, please give us a thumbs up and consider sharing the video with others. It may not seem like much, but it really helps us with growing our channel and community. As always, we appreciate you checking out our channel and video. I hope you all are staying safe during these challenging times. Until next time, travel safe and travel smart.